Hi, welcome to Dining Around. I'm Alan Richman.
And I'm Nina Griscom. Today we welcome former restaurant critic and radio personality Arthur Schwartz to our corner table. We'll also learn the two-step at the Stagecoach in Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
And our first story is a little different from our regular restaurant previews, and we think quite moving. Drug and criminal rehab programs don't always meet with great success, but there's a woman in San Francisco who's proving that change can happen. She runs the Delancey Street Foundation, and that operates a restaurant staffed totally by the program residents. They learn all the skills it takes to run a successful business, and the results show that they take pride in their work. The program is completely self-supporting with no cost to the taxpayers. With a winning waterfront view, an ethnically inspired American bistro menu, and aim-to-please service, no wonder San Franciscans are impressed by Delancey Street. Critics alike have proclaimed Delancey Street the friendliest restaurant in the city, and they call the food terrific. But for the people behind every meal and every order taken, Delancey Street is a place for hope and a hard-earned miracle.
I'm the executive chef in the kitchen. I take care of all purchasing, produce quality, making sure the menus go out. I spent the last 15 years on the streets, really strung out. When I came into Delancey Street, I weighed about 110 pounds. I've spent a lot of time in people's neighborhoods. It used to be I was stealing things, selling drugs in their corners.
Delancey Street is, it's an odd organization. It's a place for people who have hit bottom through all kinds of things, poverty, drugs, crime.
I really thought that there wasn't any hope for me until I came to Delancey Street. First thing I can say is drugs. Drugs-related crime, a lot of heavy crime, back and forth, in and out of prison.
Before coming to Delancey Street, I had no idea how to work even for an hour, let alone thinking that I could do something like run this restaurant.
We have 500 people in San Francisco and about 1,200 people nationally living together, learning vocational skills and academics and values.
I started out as just being a dishwasher. Then I progressed to become a chef, a head chef in that department.
Most of our people come in with no skills and no education. And our idea is to live together like extended families used to do. We take no government money. Everyone comes in, starts at the bottom, and they have to learn everything and earn everything.
I'd heard about Delancey Street and heard it was like the toughest thing going. Prior to coming here, I was a heroin addict for about 12 years, and I basically did anything to get money, to use drugs. I've learned all kinds of things. Just learning to be like a decent human being, being accountable. I couldn't lie. Couldn't cheat anymore.
Behind this training enterprise lies the heart and the soul of one woman, Mimi Silbert. Together with her late husband, who was a rehabilitated convict and addict, she has been proving for the last 25 years that anyone can change their lives. She's created self-help programs that teach marketable skills, education, and values to guarantee the success of her programs.
There isn't a thing you see in this restaurant that hasn't been handcrafted by our residents. Some walls came a little crooked, and we said, no, let's take them down and put them up again, because we believe it doesn't matter how many mistakes you make. It matters that you fix them. It's not that every day everybody is walking around saying, oh, I love changing my life. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare, and every 5 minutes, everybody feels that they're going to fail. And our residents have an incredible courage. They're just changing everything about their lives.
Dining at Delancey Street is no charity event. People come for the varied and interesting food.
Every one of these customers, most of them don't know that the money that they're paying for a good meal is making somebody's life turn around. I did recipes that come from every ethnic background. I called grandmothers of residents and got their ideas.
The menu offers home-style favorites from all over the globe, from juicy charbroiled burgers to cheese blintzes to pasta.
This is Charlie. He's making a Caribbean grilled chicken salad, which is just one of our favorite items in the restaurant.
Thai curry prawns are made to order with vegetables in a coconut red curry sauce. The spinach and feta phyllo squares sit on a bed of mint sauce and are finished with a taste of baba ganoush.
This is my absolute favorite dish in the restaurant. It is called Herbie's Old Fashioned Drugstore Sundae, and it's named after my dad. My daddy died right before we opened this restaurant.
That you can teach your dog new tricks. And me and 400 other residents here in Delancey Street is living proof of that. You know, Mimi believed in us and gave us a chance.
And she's always right there, jumping up and down and making us do more and better and not give up.
Whether it's opening a restaurant with no money in her savings account or trying to create the perfect chocolate sauce, Mimi Silbert never gives up.
We got it right, Daddy.
She is an amazing woman.
Well, this is an amazing project. First
Yes,
of all,
it is.
you know, restaurants drive people to ruin. They're so difficult. They don't save them from it. And
Well,
this is an example
that's
of...
true. But you know, it's such a highly energized, intense business, Alan. And one of the most important things in recovery, of course, is to not be thinking about drugs or drink, but to be busy at all times. And a restaurant is certainly the perfect environment for that.
That's
It's,
right.
you
Remember
know.
she said every 5 minutes they think they're going to fail?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think what every restaurateur thinks
they
every
got to
5
go
minutes.
back to the oven or get another customer or wait on another table. There's no time to have that downtime when you could get in trouble. And I think another point is that in prison, you know, many times you are given opportunities to learn a profession, but it's very hard when you get out there on the outside to find anyone to employ you. So this program is a wonderful thing because most of the people working here are there from 2 to 4 years. And at that time, they've really learned a profession, hands-on in the environment. They're hired. And at that point, it's much more likely that they'll be able to go on and make that transition into the, you know, the big world and get another job, much easier than coming out from prison.
Yeah, so we should also explain, you know, everybody's not a New Yorker. We should explain why this is called Delancey Street.
Yeah.
Delancey Street's a street in lower Manhattan where all the immigrants, when they came off the boat, when they, you know, from the old world and they came here, they settled on Delancey Street on the Lower East Side. That's the same idea, a new start in a new place.
Exactly. But the food here, let's talk about that
Okay.
too, because not only is this a wonderful place with a great concept that's really doing great things for people, it also has serious food. And people don't come here just to be nice. They come here because the food's great, the view's wonderful, and apparently the service is the friendliest of any restaurant in San Francisco.
We hear great things about the service here.
Yes.
Is it mean of me to say there's some great deals on this menu?
No.
There's some really good deals
What's
here.
mean?
Well, I mean,
You're right.
you know, you can get, there's some great, they have a prefix menu for about $12.95 that gives you 3 courses.
Right.
One of it is, they have soup, they give you a main course, a rotisserie dish usually, and then a chocolate mousse or something like that for a dessert. And if you go over the menu, all of their high-end items, you can really scam some very good high-end dishes for no money here.
Scam. Now, that's the wrong word to use here. No, 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 no.
Well, steak and eggs is $7.95. Can't beat
Right,
that.
right.
You know, filet of salmon with a light soy glaze. What would you pay for that, young lady, in a New Yorker restaurant?
If I was dining with you, anything, Alan. Anything.
$7.50 here.
That's a
you can't
good
beat.
buy.
They have great prices.
They have a great light menu, too. It's called a city light menu, and they offer food, a whole meal there from 200 to 500 calories and from 2 to 7 grams of fat. So I'd say they've got all angles covered here.
Now, you notice when you say the chef, you notice how they're so open about what they've done and what
Yes.
they've been. It gave me a kind of a chill a little bit because, you know, you say, I'm the chef here. For the last 15 years, usually the end of that sentence would be, I was
Right.
training with Paul Bocuse in Lyon.
Exactly.
But instead he said, I was on the street for 15
that's
years.
part of recovery, you know, is to own up to what one's past has been and move on with it. And I think the restaurant business is another aspect of why it works with recovering people is that there's so much love involved in it. Yes, it's hard work. Yes, it's very grueling, but at the same time, feeding people is a form of love, and there's a whole family environment here, which Mimi obviously very much fosters and is just a fantastic woman. I mean, this is a very moving story.
So it's a very special place. By the way, Mimi Silbert.
Whoa.
She lived for a while in Dorchester and Boston. So did I. And boy, you have to recover if you've lived there. So Delancey Street Restaurant. It's at Embarcadero at Brannan That's in San Francisco, 415-512-5179. Closed Mondays. Credit cards are accepted, and the average lunch price is $11.